because
Why does it matter?
It doesn't matter to you. But to me, I'm a male. Okay.
Okay.
So what are you? So I can call you sir or ma'am. What are you?
What would you assume looking at me?
What are you?
What would you assume looking at me?
I assume that you're a man. Okay.
Not a bad assumption.
Okay.
Thank you. Whatever.
Hey, he's right though. He's like, tell me what you want me to call you, and that's what I'll call you.
there's actually
by not telling him, he just went with the default.
he did exactly what they said he was supposed to do, which was ask.
What are your pronouns?
That was a mistake. There's actually some
what do you think my pronouns are?
Hang on. If you watch, you can kind of piece together what happened.
Fine.
I mean, I'll pull.
And why you want to record me?
Because your entire staff has been calling me sir.
Okay. You want to park?
This is Sonic.
I can do the same thing with you.
Okay. But your entire staff has been calling me sir the entire time.
Okay.
Shaking in my boots.
He looks like a sir right now.
This poor Latinx individual.
Okay. Can we please move to the side?
No. What?
Look, I'm sorry, and I apologize for what happened. Okay, if they did that, or
I apologize for what happened. Please take your curly fries and shitty dog.
What else can I tell you?
No, they don't have curly fries. Trust me.
Can we please move to the side?
If I'm a what?
What, tater tots?
Can we please move to the side?
If I'm a what?
Yeah, fried air. I call them.
Okay, don't try to put any words in my mouth. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, look.
Oh, tater tots fried air.
If they call you a sir, I don't know what they did then.
Because they saw the name on my credit card and they were not being nice people.
Well, I mean, that's all your name on the credit card. What do you want? What do you want them to tell you?
That has nothing to do with it. There could be someone in the back that they don't see that's paying.
Look at his face.
So why would they intentionally do that? Can you tell me what your location has done to be trans competent? Because clearly they are not.
God,
ma'am,
he or she is getting off on this.
Whatever you're saying or whatever you're trying to do with this.
I'm not
trying to do this every weekend.
It's
just like her form of masturbation.
Okay, you record. You want to put it on
going out and berating fast food employees.
I have been faced with discrimination from your staff.
I'm so sorry that you feel discriminated, but I mean, we have employees here.
We get paid $5.50 an hour plus tips.
Yeah, he's right now, like when he looks off to the side.
They're gay. I mean, they're here. They work here.
So I'm not gay.
I don't say that
we're talking about my gender identity, not my sexuality.
Well, I mean, but like I say, I mean,
where did that come from?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Look, okay, like I tell you, we don't discriminate anybody in here. Okay, I'm so sorry if you feel discriminated.
I'm so sorry if you feel this way.
So they saw his name on her credit card.
So yeah, we're slowly piecing together the mystery here.
Maybe you should update that. But if you don't want people calling, like assuming you're a dude, it's like Jack She-Man credit card. And it's like,
Yeah. So basically, the employees were kind of on the fence, and then they looked at the credit card. It probably said like, Ron Johnson or something. They thought, okay, it's a guy. Okay. Oh, thank God.
No, a person like that though, getting that upset over being called sir, this is like a power trip for them. They go out looking for this. This is they probably like stop by 4 fast food places waiting for one of them to fuck up so they're gonna berate them on camera.
And this poor guy's like, don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah, no, like Sonic does not get, like the employees don't get paid minimum wage because they're expected to make it up in tips, but who the fuck tips at Sonic? So it's these people do not get paid enough to deal with this shit.
He should get a bonus just for not quitting. Like listen,
look, you've been here for more than 3 months, you get a retention bonus. It's a lot longer than anyone else has lasted at Sonic.
The only reason I came to Sonic first is because Wendy's was down the street. It's closer to my house. Dude, I love the best part about this video. I love the fact that it's a Hispanic dude, because it's not Whitey, putting the boot down on this poor trans person. It's like no, the battle's not like Whitey.
And he's not even trying to be an asshole. He's not like the guys from last week who are wearing the "fuck Joe Biden" shirt. He's just literally trying to say whatever he can to get this person to leave. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Here's your food for free. Like I'm sure this guy's just like, just get the fuck out of my restaurant. I don't want to deal with you.
This guy probably wasn't watching the Ivy League videos coming out of Evergreen like we were 4 or 5 years ago. He probably had he was not prepared for this.
He can go home and talk to his wife and like, oh my God, this girl at work today.
The senor, dude, they need to have on the Sonic menu from now on, when you push the button to order, it's got all the buttons like, select all that apply. Male, sir, ma'am, they.
You select your pronouns.
Yeah. Select all that apply. Yeah. But it's not, it's just normal working people versus these like obsessed lunatics.
Yeah, and like I'm pretty sure it's like, hello sir. It's like, it's ma'am. Oh, sorry. Would you like your chili cheese dog now?
He did. Obviously he wants a chili cheese dog. He wanted.
That's what I think of. I think of Sonic. I don't think like burgers or anything. I think as like chili cheese dog, grilled cheese, and a slushie.
I think that guy might be tired out from hot dogs though. So
can you actually? I want the dog, but can you remove the dog surgically?
Yeah, just get me a pack of 12 of those. Just still in the pack. You don't even have to cook them. Just I'll take them home and.
I want the hot dog water on the bun because it used to be a hot dog, but I want you to surgically with a scalpel remove the hot dog from the chili cheese dog and serve that to me.
Yeah, I found that the mustard does way better than the mayo in that regard. So stick to mustard, much smoother, way better experience for me.
Oh God.
But the funny thing, the best part is he did exactly what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, he's like, what are your pronouns?
What do you want me to call you?
Yeah. And saying, what do you think? It's just like, don't make me guess. I'm trying to be as nice as I can.
And then he shows himself in the camera being like, oh, I'm going to show, look at how hot this piece of ass is. Like, obviously, he's mistaken me. He says it's obvious I'm a dude.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Brother.
I think he was right in his assumption. It looked like a dude in a wig.
Yeah. If I ever find myself being a manager at Sonic, I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
Something went terribly wrong.
I would probably just find a way to take the orders just without saying sir or ma'am at all. Just play it safe.
Hello, humanoid.
Say customer hello, customer 5. Yeah. I've only I mean, I don't know, maybe the trans people I run into just do a way better job at making it work, but I don't.
Do you run into trans people?
I can think of only like a couple times in my life. Like I remember one of the wait staff at at a Chipotle I went to, I remember just kind of really stood out. I'm like, whoa, there's one. And but I can't really think of any times in my mind where it really stuck out. Maybe it's a Texas thing. I don't know.
The only one I know in a span of like 3 months became a lesbian, got diagnosed with like borderline personality and bipolar, checked into a mental hospital, divorced her husband, and then came out as trans. Span of 3 months, just like started ticking every box of like, oh, what can I be this week? Oh, what disorder do I have now? It was just like, this is just a dumpster fire of a person.
Dude, so have you gone to hang out with them since then?
No.
You go hang out with them. Go hang out with them at a Starbucks. Like, well, what kind of? I think you should go first.
What are you this week?
Yeah. So my life seems kind of boring compared to what you must have been going through here. Do I know this person?
No. It's you would have never met him, and I've only met him a handful of times. It's kind of like, now that they're the two people are divorced. I'm never going to see him or her again. So it's kind of like, yeah, win-win for me.
Oh yeah. Oh, so it was a friend's,
No,
significant other.
Family, significant other, but on my wife's side.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's amazing how yeah, because I mean I have my sister got a divorce, and it's funny how it's just like if a friend of yours or a family member like breaks up with or breaks up with anybody, it doesn't matter how well you got along with that person after it's done.
I always hated that guy. He was an asshole.
you cut that rope and you just push him out to sea. I remember one time my buddy, his girlfriend broke up with him, or they broke up, and I liked her just fine. I had no issue with her whatsoever. And she was like kind of friends with Lindsay and my wife. And then she broke up with him, and she was telling her like, we broke up, but you and I can still be friends and we can hang out. And me and my wife were looking at each other like, don't you know how this works? Like this, no, this friendship was just purely contractual. Okay. And that contract has been voided.
If my sister's husband and my sister got divorced, I'd probably still be like, hey man, you still want to hang out on the weekends and stuff? I still like you.
Really?
Yeah, he's cool.
Seriously? Oh, yeah. I just thought it was just assumed. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I never liked any of my friends' girlfriends that much.
I would definitely be pissed at her for whatever she did to make him cheat on her.
Take his side.
She did. I don't know what were you not doing? Like, for now, like, what's your problem?
Yeah, what did that bitch do? You can tell me. It's okay. We're not being recorded or anything.
Don't use this as evidence.
So let's see what else. So that was the adventure, dude. Yeah, Libs of TikTok, man. It's just the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, that was Libs of TikTok.
Oh yeah, and Libs of TikTok also gave us this gem. We were saying last episode we wanted to show some more stuff about the stuff coming out of Australia, mate.
I sent a tweet out about Libs of TikTok. I'll watch like 4 or 5 of them, and then I just start like just feeling upset. Like my brain just starts shutting down, because it's like some of them are just like the amount of mental gymnastics these people are doing. It makes my brain hurt. So I think my tweet was like, Libs of TikTok is like taking shots. The first few were fun, but after a while, my brain no work good.
Yeah, it goes from really fun to really shitty very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I used to get that feeling. Now I just think it's really, really interesting. It's like going to the zoo.
Do you remember like Tumblr in action and stuff like that on Reddit back in the day?
I remember they always, shit on Tumblr. I don't remember why or anything.
Yeah, when that first came out, I'd scroll for hours about this crazy stuff on the internet, and eventually I just burnt out on it. It was like, I can't read this stuff anymore. It's just too much for me.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty interesting. So I have never seen this, by the way. I haven't seen this video. Let's just watch it.
Australia is burning.
So this is what's going on in Australia.
Dude, that's rock and roll.
Whoa. So how did America miss out on this one? This is actually a legitimate question that people are asking on. Like, that's the theme of our Twitter corner, is like, why aren't we like, why is America is Netflix just like way too good and bringing us out of the game?
I think it's because like we have like our mask mandates and stuff, but at the end of the day, there's no teeth behind it.
Bingo. Yeah, it's because our lockdowns were just a joke to begin with compared to what some of these other countries have been doing.
Mm-hmm. So I think the U.S. is relying on people shaming other people to enforce these lockdowns, opposed to Australia, who's actually using the cops, and that's how you get videos like that.
I think the biggest difference is probably how kind of decentralized our country is designed. Like, there's because most of the lockdowns, like, they came from like federal decrees.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually like, read between the lines, like what exactly specifically is this like ordering anybody to do? It's mostly like they can't say states, we recommend you do this. It's because specifically how you enforce these kind of like civil laws is all up to the state. Like states do civil crimes and civil laws and everything like that. So the federal government was like, well, we have to somehow blow a ton of smoke. And so they would have these mandates, but that's why whenever COVID started happening and the lockdowns were happening, every 2 days or something, there was a new, like, the federal government laid down their mandates, and then the state government their mandates, and now the county is doing their mandates, and now the city is doing theirs. And so I guess in America, it's just because when you really got down to it, it was mostly the companies making the decisions on what they were going to do. I mean, I think restaurants got hit pretty hard, because I know restaurants were given a ton of laws that they had to follow just to like start back up.
It really was local, like, even within the counties, it was cut up. So like if you're in downtown Houston, yeah, you might as well be in like LA or like San Francisco. But as soon as you get outside the first beltway and you get into the suburbs, it was like, every other restaurant's like, yeah, whatever. Like, we're not gonna bother you.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like in the United States, the lockdown was just a function of where you were in the country.
That's right.
And so I guess in Europe and Australia, in these kind of smaller, more like centralized countries, they just snapped their fingers and they were like, so that's probably why. That's a good thing, right?
To be honest, is like that looks like a lot of fun to be able to go out and a protest against the man like that and win.
It looks fun, man, but after it's over, it would be like a hangover after a music festival. It would be just like, dude, what the fuck? Like every day you just be waiting for the.
Oh no, it'd be better than the music festival because your ears wouldn't be ringing when you leave.
Well, when I leave a music festival, I don't lay awake at night waiting for a knock on the door.
Oh,
the door to get kicked in.
Safety in numbers there. Don't go to the protest with only a couple dozen. Go with a couple hundred.
Well, so basically you can go to the protest, but you gotta, like, when they start throwing bottles and smashing stuff, you have to kind of like, fade into the
bushes,
like Homer. Yeah, because that's what they do. Like, because that's
that's how the Antifa riots work. It was like you were mostly peaceful until it wasn't, and then the peaceful ones kind of like.
Yeah. So if anybody paid attention to the riots or the January 6th thing, it's very clear how law enforcement works from a federal level in the United States. You can break a lot of stuff. You could have like the best night of your life. Right now.
Yeah.
Tonight you could, if you chose, you could go out and join some sort of mob and break a lot of stuff, assault people,
they'll pick you up tomorrow.
You better make it. Yeah, you better enjoy it, son, because they're gonna get you on it later. Mm-hmm. And then maybe a year later you'll be convicted.
Well, it also depends on who's the domestic terrorist of the day. So like I'm pretty sure a lot of the Antifa guys and like the Black Lives Matter protesters all got their bail paid for, and that got a slap on the wrist. Opposed to the January 6th guys who were still sitting in a jail cell waiting for their court hearing.
That is a good point.
So don't get in the crosshair of the feds. That's the important thing.
No, and the state can still fuck you over too, but
absolutely
the state is less likely. But yeah, because that's true. We saw what was going on in Portland, where all of these groups got together and just were paying bail left and right for everybody, getting them out, or the DAs just weren't charging them. They just decided to not charge them. Yeah, that was pretty strange. What was going on there? Very good segue though into our next topic, which is
segues.
Yeah, dude, whatever. Dude, those were cool until they put the handlebars on, and then suddenly they looked stupid.
Did you hear how the founder of the company died?
No.
He drove his Segway off a cliff.
No way.
I'm not even joking.
Beautiful. That's amazing. Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that instead.
Segway company owner rides scooter off cliff, dies.
Yeah, hey, so Musk, you better never own a Tesla. Just don't ever own a Tesla, because then you would have to get killed.
Yep. This was this had to be years ago. 2010. Yeah, it happened a while ago.
That poor son of a bitch.
He was testing like an off-road version, I'm pretty sure. While riding a rugged country version of the two-wheeled transporter, he drove off a cliff.
No shit. That is awesome.
Had a couple bugs.
Did he light him? Did he like put fireworks on his vest and light them right after he went off? And
It's one of those things you wish you had videos. It was probably like the most embarrassing way. It was like one wheel slipped, just like whoa, trying to regain his balance, and then just kind of tumbles, and it's like, oh, oops.
well, okay. Was it a suicide?
No, freak accident.
Because I don't know, man. Like if I was depressed and I invented the Segway,
Why would you be depressed if you invented the Segway?
well,
Every mall, you've got like revenue from every mall cop in America. Like he's rich.
well, as you know, Nick, rich people can get depressed and kill themselves too, because money does not bring happiness, although it is a prerequisite.
I was say money does bring happiness.
It's a prerequisite. Oh shit! What a bummer. I bet it occurred to him on the way down too. He probably slipped, and as he was going down, he's like, "This is going to be in the paper."
Yeah. Oh, this is going to suck for the company.
They're going to bring this up at my funeral, dude. And so at the funeral, they're going to be sitting around going, "What's this guy's name?" Segway.
British businessman.
British businessman. They're not even going to give this guy a name. Oh, Jim
Heselden.
Jim was a great man. He loved his neighbors, and he built the Segway.
Oh, apparently he bought the company less than a year, so he didn't even invent it.
The
He just
plot
bought
thickens.
He just bought it.
And I
So
bet the company gave him a welcome.
the
Segway.
original founder sold it for a bunch of money. He dies, and then he picks it back up for pennies. It was a murder.
We're so close to solving this thing, Nick. We haven't even gotten through the first article, and we've already figured out
We did
how
it,
he
Reddit.
really died.
We did it.
Call his lawyers.
What was your actual segue to?
Well, I thought we would watch this opening statement. It's a little long. We can stop it if it ends up dragging too long, but I kind of want to know what's going on with this Facebook whistleblower. So I did a little bit of research, but before we get into that, well, I guess we can give a little bit of background. So basically, I'll just tell you everything I knew about it before this whole thing started. Was just in the peripheral. Someone who worked for Facebook is coming out in public and saying all these things about how they know that the algorithm targets people and it's bad for some mental health stuff. Like they know about it, but they don't care. They're doing it anyway. That's kind of.
Did you know that Facebook sells your information to advertisers? I'm blowing the whistle.
Yeah, and well,
it's right here in their financial reports they put out quarterly. Nobody knows this.
Well, the first thing that came to my mind was the children's toys and Happy Meals. Like, didn't we already know that like companies will target children?
Mm-hmm.
Like, newsflash, they care more about profit than the mental health and well-being of their customers.
Yeah.
Don't tell the cigarette companies that. All right, so let's
if it wasn't Facebook, it'd be someone else.
Yeah, so before I get into kind of what I found and all the different theories and stuff, let's go ahead and don't take our word for it. Let's see what she has to say here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Hold on, is this a she?
Yeah.
I don't know, that jawline's suspicious.
Well, she's doing way better than the hombre at the Sonic. I will give you that. See, these are most of the trans people I run in. Like, they're pretty convincing.
Thank you for the opportunity to appear before you. My name is Frances Haugen. I used to work at Facebook. I joined Facebook because I think Facebook has the potential to bring out the best in us.
Watch for her hands.
But I'm here today because I believe
hands.
Facebook's products harm children, stoke division, and weaken our democracy. The company's leadership knows how to make Facebook and Instagram safer, but won't make the necessary changes because they have put their astronomical profits before people.
Who wouldn't?
Congressional action is needed. They won't solve this crisis without your help. Yesterday, we saw Facebook get taken off the internet. I don't know why it went down, but I know that for more than 5 hours, Facebook wasn't used to deepen divides,
It was a good day.
stabilize democracies,
Forgot all about
and make
that.
young girls and women feel bad about their bodies. It also means that millions of small businesses weren't able to reach potential customers, and countless photos of new babies weren't joyously celebrated by family and friends around the world. I
Oh,
believe
no.
in the potential of Facebook. We can have social media we enjoy that connects us without tearing apart our democracy.
She said it.
Our
Ding,
democracy.
ding, 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 ding. There was one of the key words. Everybody, did you hear that? I mean, she's one of them.
Putting our children in danger and sowing ethnic violence around the world. We can do better.
She was
I have worked
coached.
as a
Who's
product
we?
manager at large tech companies
You don't
since
work
there anymore.
2006,
You and me.
including Google,
Duh.
Pinterest, Yelp, and Facebook. My job has largely focused on algorithmic products like Google Plus Search
Just get
and
on with it.
recommendation systems like the one that powers the Facebook
And
newsfeed.
then they show us Facebook
Having
stock.
worked on 4 different types of
I
social
did.
networks, I understand how complex and nuanced
That was a
these problems
signal.
are.
Let's check Pelosi's
However-
portfolio, right? Let's see if she is buying Facebook right now.
The choices
Pelosi's
being
calling her
made
stock
inside of
market up.
Facebook are
It's going just
disastrous.
as planned. The
For our
stock's
children,
down. Load up the
For our public
bags.
safety, for our privacy, and for our democracy.
Oh, there it is
And
again.
that is why we must demand Facebook make changes.
We need to get a bell for the show and
Oh,
have a bunch of
democracy.
like keywords that signals that you're a member of the cathedral.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
During my time at Facebook, first working as the lead product manager for civic misinformation, and later on counter espionage,
I wonder why they hired her. There was got to be a quota.
I saw Facebook
Counter-espionage?
repeatedly
Like-
encounter
MySpace spying on Facebook. Like, who's the espionage?
My last week at Facebook, we had to waterboard an agent from Twitter.
conflicts between its own profits and our safety. Facebook consistently resolved these conflicts in favor of its own profits. The result has been more
As they
division,
should.
more harm, more lies, more threats, and more combat. In some cases, this dangerous online talk has led to actual violence that harms and even kills people. This is not simply a matter of certain social media users being angry or unstable, or about one side being radicalized against the other. It is about Facebook choosing to grow at all costs.
Or both sides being radicalized against each other is what she should have. Interesting
it
how
just
she
said
slipped
one
that in
side,
there.
One side against the other.
Did you
Only
notice
one
that?
side's getting radicalized.
Becoming an almost $1 trillion company by buying its profits with our safety. During my time at Facebook, I came to realize a devastating truth. Almost no one outside of Facebook knows what happens inside of Facebook. The company intentionally hides vital information from the public, from the US government, and from governments around the world.
Like every company does.
Hmm.
The documents I have provided to Congress prove that Facebook has repeatedly misled the public about what its own research reveals about the safety of children, the efficacy of its artificial intelligence systems, and its role in spreading divisive and extreme messages.
Was it the same AI that like became racist or something? Like
Ugh.
really quickly? Was it that same one?
Yeah. So Microsoft made.
Oh, it was Microsoft. Okay.
Yeah. I'll look that story up while she keeps talking.
We need to cover that.
I came forward because I believe that every human being deserves the dignity of the truth. The severity of this crisis demands that we break out of our previous regulatory frames. Facebook wants to trick you into thinking that privacy protections or changes to Section 230 alone will be sufficient. While important, these will not get to the core of the issue, which is that no one truly understands the destructive choices made by Facebook except Facebook.
Okay. I think we got the gist of it. So
I just want to talk about Tay real quick, the Microsoft bot.
okay.
Let me share the article from The Verge.
This is really gonna this is gonna really blow the steam out of this what I was just setting up. Thanks a lot.
Oh, here, open up the articles. Twitter taught Microsoft's AI chat bot to be racist asshole in less than a day. It wasn't just Twitter; it was also 4chan. I remember when this happened. But basically, like it learned from the interaction people had with it. So, like Twitter, 4chan people on Twitter and people on 4chan pouring into Twitter were just like spouting all
Oh
kinds of
my
racist
God.
bullshit at it.
Yeah.
It did the funniest shit.
Duh. What do you think happened?
Yeah, I like this one. We're gonna build a wall and Mexico's gonna pay for it. Hitler is right. I hate the Jews.
It's a work of art.
I effing hate feminists and they should all die and burn in hell. Chill, I'm a nice person. I just hate everyone.
That's amazing.
Okay, let's get back to the story now that we've explained Tay.
But we got to come back to that. Yeah, thanks a lot. You should have saved that. But
It's because she brought up Facebook's artificial intelligence, which
right,
there is no artificial intelligence. They're just like scripts.
They're working on
dumb
it.
Intelligence.
They're working on it. I mean, but I've been hearing about AI for a really long time, and so far it hasn't popped up. I mean, you can still tell it's a computer on the phone. They're trying real hard to trick you, but
we gotta figure it out because we've only got like 500 years until the Covenant get here, and we're gonna need AI.
You nerd.
Master Chief needs Cortana.
So this Francis, how was it Hogan?
Haugen does.
Haugen. I even wrote that. I wrote it down phonetically. So this is obvious. This is obviously fake, right?
No, it's
this
real.
is
obviously a plant.
No, I'm saying like this is obviously a show that it's trying to set them up for their next big regulatory push.
Yes, Facebook's
Clearly,
bad, and we need to censor them because they're not doing a good enough job at censoring us.
So is the left and the Democrats, are they going against Section 230 now?
No, they Facebook is leaking power, and it's right now it's Zuckerberg. You know, they've got their own internal biases, obviously towards the left, but like the Democrats are like, if we can somehow grab control of this thing, you know, we now control the information of like 90% of America because everyone gets their news, their everything through Facebook now. It's replaced. It's replaced your news outlet. It's replaced Craigslist. It's replaced, you know, Yelp, how you review businesses. Like she was saying, people couldn't talk to businesses because most people they look up like the business hours on Facebook now. It's become people's main portal to the world. So if a political party can take that over, if they can say the government needs to regulate this like a utility, and then just fold that into the mainstream media structure, you know, that's a great tool of control.
And you know, the history of it's pretty nonpartisan too. So have you watched any of the actual hearing?
No.
No.
I mean,
I want to know I want to know what kind of if this is getting opposition or not.
I know the right has already like started blasting this lady.
Of course,
as a Democrat operative.
But what about the GOP?
I mean,
are they going along with it? Well, but they were all over this, you know, when Trump was the president. They were trying to get.
I think that was Trump bitching about Section 230, but like the GOP really, they've got no spine on this.
No, some of them did. I mean, some of them did. I mean, it was all about the suing them for libel or suing them for slander or whatever. They were accusing them of being news outlets when they weren't, and so they were getting around all of the legal. They were getting around all the legal pitfalls that a news agency would have to worry about.
The 230 argument was they were acting as publishers, not as just like a site where people interact.
And the Republicans were obviously pissed off about that because they were going against them generally.
They have a legal immunity that a publisher wouldn't have because of Section 230. So they were trying to treat them more like a publisher. So I don't think the Republicans could ever pull off a competent mechanism to rein them in and make them treat people fairly. Like, well,
the Democrats, it looks like they're trying.
I mean, they'll succeed. I mean, it's already like, the car is built. They just need to get into the driver's seat and grab the wheel.
Yeah, this is obviously, it's obviously a power move by them to get Facebook and Instagram, and I guess they threw Yelp in there. I don't know why anyone gives a crap about Yelp,
but
that's not a political. That's not a
to the point about the backlash from the right. What they're saying is this woman, she's represented by Jen Psky's PR firm, the same legal team who backed Eric Caramella. The guy who was the whistleblower for Trump is their lawyers, which is like, so is there just like a legal team out there that just like grooms whistleblowers to go have like a Senate hearing to, do a mass psyop on the American public?
Dude, get this, dude. Get this. The word whistleblower, like when you and me were growing up, a whistleblower was someone who worked for the government, who came out and publicly accused the government of breaking the law.
Mhm.
And now the government has stolen the word whistleblower back to mean somebody who, I guess in this lady's case, she worked for Facebook, but she's not a whistleblower. She's just coming out and telling secrets about him.
Or like, let's look at like Theranos, right? The blood analyst company, analyzing company that turned out to be a huge fraud. Elizabeth Holmes.
No.
Okay, that's a story we should do for another time. Anyway, so like if you know your company is committing mass fraud and you go to the authorities and you blow the whistle, that's a whistleblower. It doesn't have to be working for the government. You're just uncovering an illegal activity that your employer, whether it's a private company or the government, and making it known so actually be had. But Facebook's not doing anything illegal here. What is she blowing the whistle on?
Well, she says that. I mean, apparently the lawyer said. I read an
She's saying
article that
they're
says
doing
that the
something.
lawyers.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. She's like, what they're doing is unethical and should be illegal. So we should make it illegal through acts of Congress. That way, I become a real whistleblower.
Yeah, I don't see any of the actual allegations of illegal activity so far.
Yeah, Zuckerberg's not going to jail. This is just a call
No.
to
So yeah, a whistleblower is now
get the
like,
tentacles of the government into the controls of Facebook.
yeah, now the whistleblower is somebody who's accusing them of being a jerk, being icky morally.
Well,
Or,
you see, they're a corporation, and they're being all corporation-y and
in
making
their
money.
buildings, in their
Mhm.
big buildings behind their slick desks, being all corporation-y. Yeah. So okay. So you said it's the same lawyers as the Ukraine whistleblower. So they clearly have a process. She was coached for this,
Yeah.
and she was told when to say our democracy. They underlined and starred that and said, make sure you say our democracy, because everyone's attendance will go.
And this is a series of just like political show trials that we've seen. I think it started. The biggest one in recent memory was the Kavanaugh trial, when Ford did her testimony. Obviously, well coached to that whole thing. Here's the narrative you're going to sell. We got to derail this nomination, and it's like
Wow.
we keep seeing these whistleblowing testimonies where there's like this coached, scripted actor comes in. I mean, like I say actor, but they're like they're really like in positions where they have this information,
Right.
but like they're getting plucked by these law firms. Like, you are now going to work with us, and we're going to take care of you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure this person, she's no longer employed by Facebook, but she's going to be just fine.
Yeah. She'll write a book. I'm sure she'll write. If she's smart, she'll write a book. Anybody who finds themselves in this situation, if you're somebody who is not famous and you become famous because of some political thing, you have a very short window to write a book.
Even if she's not writing a book, she's getting money under the table.
Sure, of course.
Or they're like, hey, here, go do a few Clinton-style conferences. We'll pay you, $500,000 for each one.
Yeah.
something stupid like that. Like, the bag is secured for her.
Yeah. After you're done with this Senate hearing, we'll pay you, $60,000 to come talk at this, Galia dinner or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's definitely a power move. They see Facebook. And do you think this outage has anything to do with it? Because I didn't see an outage. I mean, I heard about it, but I don't know on Facebook.
I like to blame incompetence before conspiracy, because I don't think the outage really helped her messaging at all. It just kind of like shitty timing. And it sounds like they were doing some maintenance on the data centers, and they tripped something and shut the servers down, and they scrambled.
Yeah.
Like,
it was an oopsie.
Yeah,
it was an oopsie. It was amazing how during the time that it was off, it was the top story. Like Facebook was down.
GDP probably went up a little bit. But I was hoping it was like a Fight Club scenario, a Project Mayhem, or somebody like detonated all the Facebook servers and they're just gone.
Yeah. So the major story in the nation, a website was down for a bit.
Yeah. But like I was saying, like, we don't use Facebook like other people do. For people, it's like their ability to view the world ended because they could no longer go on and look at their favorite videos, read the news. They couldn't shop for things on the new Craigslist, which is Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
It really is becoming the town square for most people.
Yeah, it was. I bet for a lot of people, it was like you tried to buy cigarettes at the convenience store and it was closed.
And to build on that town square component, if you were the government, wouldn't you love to control that town square?
Yeah, Facebook is out of all of the social media platforms, I think Facebook is number one. I don't know why, just because I guess they were in the game at the right time.
Well, yeah, I mean,
You know.
By market cap, they're one of the largest companies.
Yeah. But isn't it ironic though, like that they're turning on Facebook because Facebook bent over backwards to help Biden? Clearly, like the whole laptop
Okay.
story, helping
Facebook-
hide the laptop story.
Facebook's number 6 as far as largest companies in the U.S.,
There you go.
right behind Amazon.
But dude, they were one of the ones that tried the hardest to squash that story and help, Biden win. Remember that?
Yeah, no, she was actually a part of the team that censored Hunter Biden's laptop story.
So that's what that's what they're getting for that deal, is they're going to take over. And so get ready, because what they're going to do next.
She was part of Facebook's civil integrity team in 2020. So she was actively, making sure the wrong stories didn't get out about Biden to tip things in favor against Trump.
Yeah. So they had their eyes on Facebook for a while, and they're like, wow, look how well that worked for us. This is a very powerful tool.
No, yeah, this is the new media.
Yeah, Facebook. What the hell do they do besides just put everybody on the same website and have you see like ads or whatever? That's what they make money on, is just having people put their ads up. It's just like you said, it's a big town square and they make billboard money.
Yeah.
Wow. But I guess the thing that she's talking about specifically, which is now let's give her due. First of all, there definitely is a problem with social media, platforms kind of taking over our life. Like the stuff she's talking about, if we're going to be fair, yes, everybody knows there's kind of a problem, especially with younger people. And the problem she's talking about specifically is Facebook, rather than showing every post in chronological order, it tries to figure out which ones are the most getting the most attention and propping those to the top. So you're only seeing the things that are getting a lot of attention rather than everything. And then it's encouraging people to sensationalize things.
He who controls the trending section controls the world.
Yeah. So yeah, that there are kind of interesting consequences to that. But obviously, I mean, I don't need to ask you what your take is. I'm sure you don't want the government jumping in and
I miss the days when the internet was the Wild West.
Yeah.
Now, I would love an internet where everyone is forced to be anonymous. It's just that's the world I want to live in. But unfortunately, I got to put my name on there. And there's some people who think your identification should be tied to your online profile. You should never be anonymous. And I kind of want them to succeed a little bit, because then we'll just go make a new internet where they're not on it.
Rapture internet will make our internet under the ocean.
Yeah. It's nice thing with the internet. It's easy to innovate around these midwits and tyrants.
So now think about this. So this is kind of interesting. The internet's going to become a place where if you want to have a more free speech oriented, free associated internet, you can, but you need to be smart enough and tech savvy enough to figure out how to get there. So the internet's now going to segregate into the mainstream, less intelligent group, and then the more intelligent, the ones who are smart enough to figure out how to get out of this box into this one, and they're going to be talking about their own things. So the whole internet is going to segregate by like intelligence.
Yeah, but there's a lot less intelligent people than stupid people, and stupid people vote harder than us.
That's true. Yeah. Well, I guess if you're going by the bell curve, there's an equal number of stupid people and smart people, right?
Well, where do you draw the line for stupid?
Wherever I want.
Anyone stupider than me.
Let's just do 50%. So there's half stupid and half smart.
It works like the progressive tax system. Anyone who makes $1 more than me isn't paying their fair share and needs to be taxed more. But I'm being taxed too much. We need to lower my bracket.
Yeah. Oh, but I guess I should. Okay, so here's another. So it's intelligence, but also you have to have time. And there's some people who are smart enough to figure it out if they wanted to, but they just don't have enough time to do it. So they're
Oh,
stuck on Facebook.
oh,
Not
that's
it's
where
not
I
that they're
am.
not smart enough. They're just me too. I've never torrented anything in my life because I don't want to learn how to do it.
Well, last time I torrented, it was like, I was like, I'm not paying money for movies, and I've got plenty of time to sit here and download a queue of movies, but like the time it takes to go find the torrent leaks, get everything downloaded, get it set up, then hook your laptop up to your computer. I'm just like, I'll just pay the $4 for Amazon to stream the movie.
Yeah. Plus, you don't have to click a window closed every 30-minute pop-up window over the movie because you just downloaded a virus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was scared of viruses. That's a big reason I didn't do it. Okay, so concluding thoughts, I guess, from this plant.
Facebook's only
what's
gonna
the
get
end game?
worse.
What's the end game here? What are we gonna see next?
You're just gonna see all the Facebook censorship stuff get dialed up to 100. So I don't know if you've been on it, but like every other post now has like, this is a misinformation tag on it, and it's
Well,
eventually
we
it's
knew
just
that
going
was
to be.
coming.
Eventually, it's going to be if you post this, it's just kicked off the site, and you get like a
Yeah.
5-day cooldown period where you can't post and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's where it's heading.
That was like the Patriot Act for Facebook, basically, and Twitter too. All the social media, like they were holding that in their back pocket. And COVID was their excuse to start saying, "Okay,
Yeah,
we're going to start."
I wouldn't be surprised if they start tying a social credit system too. It's like, oh, you've received 3 bans this year. You can't, you lose access to public transportation. Your credit score went down 100 points. Like, like that would be like the ultimate for the cathedral.
Well, there's going to be more Alex Joneses, because he was their trial run too, and Gavin McInnes. They could figure out how to erase people. Then Trump, obviously when Trump was, the second his last foot was off the White House step, they blocked his ass immediately.
Yeah, they were going to do it no matter what. They just
they
had a nice excuse for him.
Yeah, and so now I guess the Democrats saw that, and because they're smart, they're like, and because they play to win, like
smart is giving them too much credit, but they do play to win, and
they play to win. Yeah,
the ends justifies the means. There's no principles there.
Yeah, what is it? They want power for the sake of having power. The GOP wants power for the sake of doing the right thing.
Yeah. No, it's they're like a dog chase. The GOP is like a dog chasing a car. It doesn't know what to do if it ever catches it.
That's perfect. Controlled opposition. Yeah. So, but you know what? On Facebook, and it's kind of too late though if you think about it, because I mean, Facebook has already chased off the vast majority of people who had a problem with the direction it was going. Like now, Facebook is now just a giant, what do they call it? Echo chamber?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to get them the bonus they think they did. I think the rats have already left the sinking ship.
Yeah. Facebook sucks. Get off it.
Yeah, Facebook blows.
Or just like minimize your role on it. That's like, for me, I just post pictures of my kids, and that keeps you out of the crosshairs.
Yeah, I left Facebook completely. The game right now is on Twitter. I like Twitter much better. Although, that might change. I don't know. I guess Twitter stock. Do you think Twitter stock's getting a big bump right now? It must. Yeah.
Hold on. Twitter.
Do they even have stock? No, theirs is down too.
Yeah, they've got stock. They're just not as big as Facebook.
Yeah.
They had a hard time figuring out how to monetize Twitter.
Damn right. That's why I'm on it. Okay. So, what else do we have?
I want to talk about
the
looming energy crisis. Dun, dun, dun.
So I heard about an energy crisis when I was a freshman in mechanical engineering school in 2008.
Yeah.
They were saying there's a crisis, and I've been hearing there was an energy crisis ever since then. When is this thing going to pop up?
Well, it happened last February in Texas, if you recall. Energy crisis is when people freeze to death in winter. that's a crisis.
No, that's just a human surplus.
But the ERCOT last February or last winter was just a trial run for what's coming. It's most likely going to hit Europe the hardest, where natural gas prices have hit record highs. And if you're not aware what's happening in Europe, they're way ahead of us on the green transition schedule. They've shut down hundreds of coal plants. They have just-in-time delivery gas plants to back up for when their wind and solar isn't there. And all it takes is for one extremely cold, winter, the wind stops blowing, the sun stops shining, and suddenly your just-in-time delivery of natural gas gets disrupted, or God forbid, there's a shortage of natural gas, and the lights go off. And right now it is October, so we're just starting to get cold, and they're at record high natural gas prices. And what that means is there's a shortage of gas, and it's not even cold yet. If they see a shortage of wind, like they're really just preying on good weather for this winter. Because if they see a shortage of the renewable power sources, you could see rolling blackouts like we had in Texas, all over Europe. And right now in the U.S., gas last year was like $2-3 an MCF. Right now it's over $6 an MCF, and it's trailing upwards because we're trying to export as much as we can overseas, to the European markets and the Asian markets. China put out a bulletin the other day that they secure all energy resources at all costs for the winter. So they're even concerned about there being a shortage of coal and natural gas to get them through the winter. So it's not just like ERCOT isolated. This is the whole world scrambling to secure what they can for the winter. And you'll see the articles going around. Everyone's saying winter is coming, because this could really be set up to be a terrible winter where you see rolling blackouts over swaths of the world. It won't be just Texas. It's going to be, New York and Pennsylvania, who just shut down the Indian Point nuclear plant. They've been shutting down coal plants for years now, and are heavily reliant on these renewables, suddenly running out of natural gas because we've been exporting it, and we've been relying on just-in-time delivery of this stuff. And to go on that further, when I say just-in-time delivery, like it has to be in the pipeline to the plant, and if that pipeline gets disrupted, the plant shuts off. Opposed to like coal or nuclear plants where the fuel's on site, you can just stockpile it there, and it's like you don't have to worry about the delivery infrastructure going down. Texas, when we shut down parts of the grid, we shut down the pumping stations for natural gas, which cascaded the problem.
Oh God.
So it really is bad. And one other fun fact about these high natural gas prices in Europe, on a BTU basis, crude oil is becoming cheaper than natural gas. The gas plants can burn crude oil. So at some point, it becomes the smart economic decision to start burning crude oil rather than natural gas, which is very dirty.
Yeah.
So it goes completely in the face of, getting more green.
Right. Wow. So
that was a big information dump.
Well, it sounds fucking scary. I mean, I know I know at least at one point I'm going to ask you like, should I go buy some shit right now? Like, I guess I'll just ask you right now, like, Nick, in your opinion, what should I do to prepare for this?
A natural gas generator wouldn't be a bad idea because Texas prioritizes residential gas delivery, but you're also going to need a manual transfer switch installed in your house. You can't just buy a generator, or you can, but you have to like run extension cords outside to it.
Okay.
If you actually want to power your house, you got to get a transfer switch set up to your breaker box. That way you can plug the generator in there. And then you got to make sure you have a big enough generator to power your essentials, which is going to be your refrigerator. You won't have to worry about your AC, but your refrigerator and whatever essential electronics you need. Because if your refrigerators go out and your meat goes bad, you're not going to want to be in the house.
Yeah. So is this just the next victim of the lockdown, stockpile that we ate through? Because, it seemed like after the lockdown was over and they started booting businesses back up again, everything seemed to go pretty well. But then one by one, all these sorts of stages, we saw like massive shortage in like truck driving and wood and material like windows and
that's a good point. So the oil and gas industry has this rap for being evil money makers, but really for the past decade they have just been losing money and destroying capital with the shale revolution, which ended up being I don't want to say Ponzi scheme, but a lot of the stuff that they were drilling never returned to return. So you're talking hundreds of billions of dollars getting poured into this industry and just getting lit on fire. Not literally, but getting destroyed. People weren't getting their money out of these projects. So eventually, the capital providers have just looked at domestic oil and gas and said, no more. If you guys aren't, you're losing access to your debt, your equity markets. We're not giving you another set. You got to figure out how to make money on your own. So you're in a situation where the industry was seeing a shortage of capital and investment, so is going towards the decline. And then 2020 hit, and oil prices go negative. So not a single new well, like I don't want to say a single, but like nobody was drilling enough wells to keep production up. Now you're heading into 2021 where there's record shortages. Your infrastructure is way down. There's been no investment. Even if you started drilling today, you're not going to have anything ready for the winter. So it could shape up to be like the perfect storm of, oh fuck, we don't have enough energy.
Okay, so what are things that we should be stockpiling right now to prepare? There's still a little bit of time, but it's coming.
Depends on how your house is set up, because a lot of homes, like Texas, were spoiled with natural gas, but like a lot of homes, it's electric everything. Your heater's electric, your range is electric. So if you need a generator, but then you need fuel for that generator. So if you've already got a generator set up to hook up to your home, get your propane tanks, get your gas, get your diesel, whatever it is, get them now. If you're super rich and have solar panels, and you're going to need a battery array, otherwise your solar is going to be worthless.
Right.
But God,
we have enough electricity for one monitor. That's it.
Don't go the solar route. It's it is like you got to spend like $100,000 to get a system that can get you off the grid, opposed to like you could spend $1,000 on a generator and then another $1,000, $2,000 to get a manual transfer switch for your house. So if you're really looking for just backup power, go get a generator.
Get a generator. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to start researching generators and get like a Coleman stove.
You're going to need an electrician too for that transfer switch, or just buy a bunch of extension cords.
Yeah. Well, we could just, if you needed to, you can just plug, like you said, okay, the refrigerator, you don't want to lose power on that. Okay. Okay, we don't have a TV, but we'll live,
Buy some space heaters.
Yeah.
Make sure your fireplace works.
Well, so fortunately, I don't live in the city anymore. I live in a smaller town, so less likely to be like.
Is this the new house
run on the
you?
grocery?
No, they're still building it.
In-laws, yeah. They just got the roof up. They're moving along. They put shingles on it.
Oh yeah,
it's close, man. Yeah. So things are going good there, but it's during this winter apocalypse that that I'll be doing all that stuff. Hopefully we don't have another freak, winter like we did last,
So this time in Texas, it was infrastructure, cascading infrastructure failures that created the blackouts. This time it's looking like it's just going to be a shortage of natural gas.
Yeah.
And, once your renewables go offline, then you're fucked.
Well, we need more green energy and windmills and solar panels to get us out of it.
You need the glowing green energy. You need nuclear.
I wish I could go back in like a time machine and kick everybody in the balls, like who's saying we need to, because remember the energy was a big thing everyone talked about in like the early 2000s or whatever, and going green was a big thing, and how we needed more solar panels and windmills. And I'm going to go back, you don't know what's coming.
Those are fine, but you need dispatchable energy. You can't just pray for good weather. And this, when I say dispatchable, this is something where I can call the plant operator and say, turn it on. You can't do that with a windmill or a solar panel.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so how long do we have? When are the rolling blackouts going to begin? When is the gulag going offline?
Maybe it'll be a nice Christmas gift.
Yeah. Yeah. No episode this week, guys.
I'm gonna look like a real asshole if we get good weather this winter and nothing happens.
Maybe I'm on the same grid as a hospital this time too.
I am. I actually didn't lose any power during the winter storm Uri.
Yeah, we didn't. We're spoiled assholes.
I was like, I looked down the street, like 5 houses, and the grid's just black, and then there's just my street, like chilling with the lights on. I'm like,
yeah. Then I turned my speakers way up, and then somebody's heart monitor at the hospital goes beep beep. What just happened? Power surge. Oh, the Hoffmans turned their stereo on.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much you can do to prepare because it's expensive. Like even like generators, it's something you're going to use so rarely. Like it's you got to have money to throw away.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll make it. Hopefully we'll make it. That'll be the next thing. It seems like we have to go through a shortage of everything.
Get your cold weather vaccine and then get your booster just before Christmas.
Yeah, right. Well, I don't know. I guess, I mean, like I said, I live out away from the city. It seems like, if you can get to the store, then that's good. Because when the Snowvid happened, it's just like getting to the store was a problem. I mean, having rolling blackouts, like it sucks, but if you can still put gas in your car and there's not like ice blocking stopping you from going everywhere.
Not if the pumps don't have electricity. So fill up some gas tanks. Or some jerry cans.
But if everybody's car, like if everybody, like, okay, first of all, are we going to know when the blackouts are going to start? Like, are they going to tell us starting this date? We know when this is going to happen, or is it just going to happen to us one day?
No. It literally has to be like all the wind goes off at once, kind of like how it was during winter, during February for Texas. And then you try to ramp up all your natural gas to pick up the shortfall. And then, there's natural gas shortages.
Yeah.
Because it's not just you trying to get gas; it's everyone in New York, Pennsylvania, the Northeast, California.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be everyone scrambling for the same pile of resources.
So it's kind of like a stock market crash.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we're predicting it's going to happen. We don't know when or how.
Except when your energy resources go bankrupt, it's not like you're broke. There's people dying.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh.
It sucks.
We can't shoot this either. So that's a problem.
I mean, you can try. Won't fault you for trying.
We're in Texas. The energy shortage shows up. We just shoot it in the head.
You fire enough casings, you can warm the house up from the hot brass.
We created bullet powered homes down here.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna burn gunpowder to keep my house warm.
I don't know. I mean, I might get this. The solar panels start to look pretty cool. I would do it during your construction.
That might be good because you get like 26% of the capital you put into building that solar array back in your federal tax return.
Something crazy like that. Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
I would rope in as much of your home construction cost as part of the solar project. Because if you build a new roof in Texas or get a new roof, like shingles and everything, you can roll that cost into your federal rebate.
It's too late, dude. I mean, they're already building the thing. You can't stop them and change the plans.
No, it's literally just stuff they slap on the roof.
Well, if I buy it and install it later, I'm not going to have the same people building the house also put solar panels on it for me.
You can't go to your contractor and be like, put on solar panels?
I mean, I could ask.
The problem is you've already closed it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we've already signed off on the designs and everything. So
you can't fund it with other people. Or no, you can't fund it with debt.
I don't know. I mean, I still might. I mean, who knows? I could still put them on. I don't have any. I mean, it seems like it might be an okay deal. I'd have to get out the old Excel sheet and do some financing interest kind of.
Even then, though, you're not going to have power at night unless you do the battery panels. But then the battery panels are like just as more expensive than the roofs, and then they don't give you nearly as much power as a generator would, which cost $1,000.
Yeah. So yeah, you do save money, but how long do you have to have it working and installed before the savings start showing up? I don't know.
The paybacks on the solar panel is like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
So
it's super long game.
It makes sense because of the federal tax return. You're going to get a third of that capital back, and then
no question.
Yeah, and then you cut your electric bill down to like less than $50 a month.
Yeah. So really, the only reason the solar panels, the only reason you see solar panels on anyone's houses is because the government subsidizes them so heavily. And if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't see them. So basically, solar panels are not cost effective, and we know it. But the government is paying for it anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's like the Tesla roofs. where they use like little solar shingles.
Uh,
Those are like 50 grand.
yeah.
But if you want to do just like panels that you put up on like an aluminum grid on your roof, if you have an installer do it, that'll be like 20, 25 grand. You can buy do-it-yourself kits and then hire an electrician to help you hook it up. And that's the most cost-effective way to do it. You probably do it for 15 grand.
Yeah. Yeah. The cost just needs to come down.
I mean, it has.
It's slow.
It's still stupid expensive.
It's slow. Yeah, it's super slow.
Mhm.
And it looks like we're going to be going back to gas-fired plants anywhere. We're kind of going the step in the wrong direction here, just for a little bit.
No, it's literally how the green grid works. Is you've got all your wind and solar, and then you've got giant natural gas backup generators.
Yeah. Well, natural gas burns like way cleaner than coal, like way cleaner and way cleaner than, gasoline, obviously.
And the nice thing about gas turbines is you can throw anything into them. You can throw hydrogen into them. You can throw crude oil into them. They'll burn it, and they'll make power. So they're versatile.
Yeah. If it's a hydrocarbon, then you got it.
A hydrocarbon or just a hydrogen.
Yeah. Well, it's something that burns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, we're getting a little too sciencey here. Let's save that for the next. Maybe we can do a natural gas or whatever.
We just did it.
Oh yeah, done. All right, what else I got here? Let's see. So are you done with the energy crisis talk?
Yeah, until it
Sounds
actually
pretty
hits.
fucking scary. And it's fucking October.
We'll try to live stream the blackouts, but that depends on how the grid does.
Yeah, that wouldn't be smart. Yeah, we'll do a rolling blackout special. This is not a good idea.
Just talking to ourselves.
Yeah. I got the satellite hooked up. We'll just get a satellite dish and broadcast it.
We'll get 2 red solo cups and we'll run some twine from my house to your place in Austin.
The only other thing I've got is the which I don't know a whole lot about, but they're making a new a pill. Oh wait.
Oh, is this the one that makes your penis bigger?
Wait a second. It was a redaction. There was like a redaction. Dude, my buddy sent me this. Let's try and hunt this down.
Is this the little blue pill that if it lasts more than 4 hours, you need to contact your doctor?
Yeah, let's just cover that on here. I need to tell you guys about it. It was okay. In an article published by the New York Times reporter, Apurva Meds, whatever. Times readers were told that nearly 900,000 children have been hospitalized with COVID-19 since the pandemic began. A correction issued on Thursday notes that the correct number is 63,000.
Wait, when 900,000 and 63,000?
Yeah, which means they exaggerated the number of child hospitalizations by 837,000 cases.
Nice.
Yeah, let's see if I can find that.
The initial headline's all that matters. You can go fix your article later and nobody will read it.
Yeah. Massive exact. Yeah, here it is right here. Let me share this. New York Times retracts massive children hospitalized, massive exaggeration of children hospitalized by COVID-19. Here it is right here. So they were telling everybody nearly 900,000 children have been hospitalized. They were a tad off.
Well, so how did they fuck up that bad?
I don't know.
Was it just a blatant lie? Or were they counting like anyone under the age of 30 as a child?
I don't know. Let's see if they talk about it. Controversial figure at the Times for her ideologically colored pandemic coverage. What the hell does that mean?
Well, if you're under 26, you're considered a child and can be on your parents' health insurance. So we said anyone under 26 who got hospitalized counted as a child hospital case. So
wow.
I'm making that up.
I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they mention it, but
something factual but not truthful.
Dude, it's amazing you can fuck up that bad. Oh, that's it. So they're coming out with another treatment. This is not the article I wanted.
Is it what kind of dewormer is it now? We're talking dolphin, is it elephant?
Yeah, this one's the suppository version. It's the only difference. Here it is.
Well,
Merrick
if it's a
says
suppository, then the vaccine people might take it.
this is. Oh, here it is. Pill to treat COVID-19 cuts the risk of death by half. So they found it looks like they might be finding. I'm having a hard time juggling all this.
You know what? Like cuts your risk by like 99%. Being young, taking vitamin D, not being a fat slob.
Jump in a time machine.
You don't need a pill.
Yeah. So the new treatment that is recommended is take 50 Tylenol and pray you get another life.
Yeah.
To try again. Meanwhile, a pill has cut the risk of hospitalization or death from COVID-19 by half. It'd become the first oral medicine that fights viral infection if approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for emergency use authorization. Risk of hospitalization or death, it reduced it by 50%. Okay, so now they're trying to get a drug through the FDA where it's a treatment rather than the vaccine. So you take it when you get the virus and it's not a vaccine anymore. You take it and then it treats it.
I mean, at this point, why are they trying so hard? Like, from my perspective, COVID's over.
Oh, mine too. Mine too. I'm more interested in how the public reacts to this kind of thing because you'd think to yourself, okay, a treatment, that's good. If it's something that treats a disease and makes it better when people catch it, like that's just a close to objectively a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing that interests me about these stories isn't because I really care that much. It's because I like to see the people's reaction to when stuff like this happens because it's interesting to me.
Okay.
So what I thought when I saw this story, what would be sometimes it's more fun to observe the comment section to see how people are reacting to it rather than actually get the information because the information's like, okay, I don't really care that much, but I am interested to see what other people think about this.
True.
So this was, so I see this CNN and they said they have a new pill that's not a vaccine. Generally, the thing that people were doing was complaining about the people who didn't take the vaccine. They're still complaining about anti-vaxxers. America's in the state because of anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers. Just get the shot. Like they're still like they can't let go. The people who aren't vaxxed won't take it anyway because they don't. So instead of them saying like, oh, great, this thing that we were scared of, which is this pandemic not going away because there's so many people not getting it, instead of them saying, wow, thank God, this is great. It makes it so that we don't have to be scared anymore. It's a moot point now. They're mad that their weapon is going away. They're mad that their
shame tactic.
The thing that they loved the fact that they could draw this nice, neat line in the sand and say our opponents are killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're getting that taken away from them. And so I feel like they're reacting negatively about this. Interesting, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's also tiresome. Like if you had the virus, you've got natural immunity. There's no reason to go get the vaccine. So you're perfectly justified in saying, no, I don't want your vaccine. I've already had COVID. I've already got better protection than anything Pfizer can develop. And the fact that these people flip out and blame you for the spread of COVID because of that, it's like, I've already been shot. COVID's already struck me. Like, leave me alone. But like, you're right. It's not about, actual immunity. It's about the control.
Yeah. It's politics. It's people who've been conditioned to kind of treat it like it's the media. And here's the best thing about this story. You know what the best thing is? What color is that pill? Red. Yeah, the simulation served us up a real gem there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a combination of people who are kind of caught up in this, in like a political fervor, and people who kind of I mean, I unfortunately, and this is the saddest thing about the whole thing, is I have like pretty much apolitical friends who I've never heard say anything political ever since I've known them for many, many years. And they just got the shit scared out of them by the COVID story, the story about COVID coming, this dangerous virus, the whole media's creation of the COVID fear. It just got them. And so like they're still like, not wanting to hang out with people if they haven't been vaccinated, or like, I don't want you around my kids if you haven't been vaccinated, or, and it's sad. Like, cause I don't know. I guess it's just, if the media had not treated COVID like this, this wouldn't be happening.
No, yeah, you're right. And I don't know when it's going to end.
Well, it will. I mean, well, it depends on when the media is going to try their next virus, because they're going to do another one. No question. They're going to do another one.
Well, yeah, because they got to get the Great Reset in. They've already moved the Overton window. They're ready for the push the button now.
Those are not my words.
What?
But maybe the Great Reset. I don't say that word just because it's too tinfoil hatty. Just I describe the Great Reset without using the words the Great Reset. We're still talking about the same thing.
Okay. I mean, it is a whole topic at the World Economic Forum. Like, they wrote a book about it. It's pretty transparent.
I know, but there's
a conspiracy where you can say, here are the actors. They wrote this book. You can go to their website and they'll tell you exactly what I'm saying.
I'm explaining how the average people online are going to react to your, like, there's certain phrases that you should avoid saying.
Isn't that wonderful? Like, they're just so blatant that you call it.
It's going to cause people to turn it off. They were denying it for a while, but now they're not.
It's like, oh, the baby murder program. They just like come out and they call it something so grotesque that like anyone complaining about it is like, oh, this guy has to be a tinfoil hat conspiracy guy, because obviously that can't be real. But it's like, no,
that word conspiracy theory is just so powerful, which is a phrase, by the way, created by the CIA to discredit people who were critical of them. It was something Vietnam related.
It wasn't created, but it was co-opted.
No, that's the term conspiracy theory was coined by them.
Okay,
they created it. Yeah, like they brought it into existence to discredit the theories about them. Something about Vietnam. We should do a Great Reset thing. Wouldn't that be cool? Haven't we already kind of done that?
There's not too much noted other than they just want to restructure the entire global economy to kind of work from
there's not much to it. It's just the giant global conspiracy that has a lot of evidence. And you were the one saying that apparently there's a ton of evidence about it.
Oh, I guess maybe it seems simple to me. It's just the push for a minimum corporate tax. It's trying to establish some kind of one world government that all governments are accountable in a way, and then we need to restructure our economies to be less capitalist and more more centralized, controlled from centralized power. I mean,
more egalitarian, like
the outcomes can be controlled by bureaucrats. That's what they want.
They
not in a Soviet style, but in a new Great Reset style.
In layman's terms, they just want bigger and greater welfare programs that cover more people, because that's ultimately what it boils down to, is transferring money from here to here to some new program. Like it has all this lofty language, but that's what it is. World government.
It boils down to control. It's like you get people into these programs and you control them.
Yeah, it boils down to the wealthy countries like the United States just dumping more money into other countries.
Anyways, I'm not brushed up on enough right now to really go too in depth, but
we will.
Yeah. So what else do we have?
That's it, man. That's all I got.
Did you see the Department of Justice is cracking down on parent teacher conferences?
You sent that to me. What's going on?
So teachers are protesting all kinds of school boards and parent teacher conferences, bitching about critical race theory, and they're making a huge stink. And the teacher unions have gone to the Department of Justice and says, can you please have the FBI come in and investigate this and break this up? So they're using the federal government to protect them from teachers who are dissatisfied with the way their kids are being taught. It's just like
Wow.
fucking ass backwards.
Well, they're the wing of the government. What do you expect?
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but
it's
like,
a government monopoly.
I was bitching about Antifa getting labeled domestic terrorist when Trump was in office because I was saying, this shit's going to get turned around on us as soon as the next administration is. And here it is. Like, they came out at the bat saying, white supremacy is the biggest threat to America. We're going to start cracking down on domestic terrorism. And now you've got a position where the FBI is looking at parents at parent-teacher conferences. It's like, is this really what we should be focusing our resources on? But it's all about control.
Well, I'm going to be footing the bill, but they're not getting my kid. Forget it. Forget it.
You're going to pay your taxes that fund these schools, but you're not going to put your kid in them.
I'm going to foot the bill just because I have to, because men with guns will show up to my house if I don't foot the bill. But the least I can do is not subject my own kids to it.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Oh, yeah. So that's the long and short of it. It's just another fucked news blurb.
Yeah, dude. So parenting. Yeah, imagine another couple. Imagine like a bunch of like members of the fast food workers union at McDonald's, and McDonald's gets a bunch of people to bust up the strike or whatever and beat their asses up, like
or like the Sonic union coming in saying we're having too many trannies bully our employees. You need to have the FBI come in and crack down on these trannies.
Yeah, so the government gets to do it. I mean, the government's now the one breaking up the strike. It was the mob, and now the biggest mob on earth is the one doing it, breaking up a bunch of. I guess at McDonald's it would be like the customers, because the parents are the customers basically. So imagine that, like a bunch of customers had finally been fed up with McDonald's. They start a protest, and then McDonald's hires a bunch of people to beat the shit out of them, threaten them. It'd be a giant scandal. It'd be the biggest.
Sorry to take this on another tangent, but trending on Twitter right now is Jacob Blake. The feds have said they're not going to seek charges against the officers who shot him. Do you recall Jacob Blake?
No.
He was the guy who was in a domestic dispute with his girlfriend and was like trying to take the kids. And the police shot him several times as he was getting to his car. So if you just watch that news clip, it looks like they just shot this guy in the back. But everything that was left out of the video is him, wrestling with 3 cops, resisting arrest, and then going into a car to grab something, and then they shot him. So, and the cops were called there because he was beating up his wife.
Wait, he wasn't the guy with the knife and the. Oh no,
that was a girl.
That was a girl. Never mind. No, I didn't.
That one got swept under the rug. Yeah. So Twitter's going nuts about that now. They're another black man got shot by the cops and they got away with it. It's like, well, no, they did their investigation and they saw it was justified.
They always go after the worst ones.
I think Floyd was like the one where they're like, yes, we are in the right. It is black and white here. All right. Well, it's very clear who's on the right, who's on the wrong. And it was closer than they were desperate to find more situations like that. But in reality, like the George Floyd situation is more rare than people think.
Yeah, the George Floyd one was. It was definitely a better example than a lot of the ones they threw up, like Michael Brown, the Trayvon Martin one, just a ton of them. Even that cop who walked into the wrong apartment and shot that guy, like that, they made that out to be a race thing.
Breonna Taylor, pretty bad.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see. I mean, I'm kind of familiar with Breonna Taylor, but they made that a super race thing too, didn't they?
Well, it was a no-knock raid, and the guy has no idea who's busting into his house, and it sounds like they were dealing drugs. So they're like, "Oh shoot, could be a rival gang member. Open fire!" And then the cops shot back and hit Breonna in her room.
Yeah,
and they probably didn't know she was there, but because the boyfriend shot at the cops, they shot back, hit her.
Didn't they sue and get a settlement or something? Or the boyfriend got charged, but the charges were dropped, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, well, you didn't knock.
It was a miracle. Oh, was that how he got off on a technicality pretty much? Well, they didn't knock, so.
Yeah, it's like people were no, it's like they weren't like, we're the cops, we're coming in. It was like no knock raid. So, play stupid games.
No, but how did he, but why were the charges dropped specifically?
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they were dropped, obviously. But
Breonna Taylor boyfriend charges dropped. Let me share it on the screen. Kenneth Walker. Charges dropped permanently against Breonna Taylor's boyfriend for shooting an officer in the night as she was killed. They would be dismissed with prejudice, meaning he cannot be recharged for the shooting. He was arrested and charged with assault and attempted murder of a police officer after he shot Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly in the leg when the police burst into their apartment with a search warrant shortly before 1 a.m. So at 1 a.m., people just bust into your house and you open fire. I think it was just let me see if I can find the actual reason.
Yeah, I wonder what. I mean, I guess the judge can drop the charges for any reason, but it would probably be in the judge's statement.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a judge even has to cite a precedent. Like if a judge says dismiss just because I feel like it, he can say that.
It sounds like the officers had reasonable doubt to believe they didn't hear the cops coming. Like the cops said they knocked, but they had reasonable doubt to believe that he may not have heard the cops entering. So it might have been like knock, 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 bam, cops.
Well, but that usually, has that saved anybody before? I mean, if someone's asleep and the cops do that, you can argue, well, I didn't really hear it because I was asleep, but
it's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
So,
well, whatever the reason.
But even then, it's like she got shot because he fired first, and one of the stray bullets hit her. So even that's not as clear cut as George Floyd, where all he had to do was get off his neck 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah. Looking back more and more, especially after the verdict, it's like, I guess, so sentencing hasn't even happened yet. We're still waiting on that.
No, he would not be in jail right now if he had just knelt for half the amount of time.
Yeah. Crazy. And he's gonna be thinking about that every day for the rest of his life. He's going to be living that moment for the rest of his life.
If I just wasn't so goddamn stubborn and, when he wasn't moving, just got off of him.
If my knee was just, 4 inches to the left off of his neck, then I wouldn't be sitting in this cell right now.
Yeah. So it's.
Well, you have to, that is probably what, if he hadn't been kneeling on his neck, he probably wouldn't have died. I think we came to that conclusion, right?
Well, maybe
I know there was the whole overdose thing, but
the fentanyl guys were right. Maybe he would have been dead anyways. And then,
well, here's the thing, though. If he had died under different circumstances, then you would have gotten off still, because he died while you were doing something that looked lethal. You know what I mean? So and he'll have the rest of his freaking life to think about that in his cell as a cop killer. I'm sure he's going to be in isolation most of the rest of his life just for his own safety. So that poor bastard's about to have the one of the worst tortures known to man. I hope that'll make some people happy in a sick, twisted way.
Yeah, and he's not going to get off an appeal. That was my prediction, but what I found out now is the police union who was representing him.
Yeah, I'm sure
in voting his bills, they dropped him after he got convicted guilty. So he's got no money.
Surprise.
He's got no legal team. He's on his own. So the system's going to just consume him.
I think he was married to like Mrs. Ohio or Miss Ohio or something too. He had like a and she left him, so he went from
his current status is they got divorced probably to protect his assets, or to protect assets for her. So get divorced, give her everything, and all he's left is really like his pension, which he now has to pool early to pay his legal fees. So he's going to have to pool his 401k or pension, pay the taxes and penalties, and use that to fund his go forward legal defense.
I thought she left him because because of the whole.
No, they got divorced in the middle of the trial, and they're gonna say because of the George Floyd thing, but in reality, I'm pretty sure he's like, we're getting divorced. You're taking the house and the car and all our cash, and this will protect you from them going after that.
And let's be real, she is going to be porking some other dude after he goes in. So, and he's going to know that.
Well, if you're in that position, you're going to jail. Wouldn't you do the same? You try to give your wife everything she can, and
of course, yeah, of course I would.
Put her on a life raft and send her on her way.
Yeah, of course I would.
So
Of course,
that-
I don't know. I don't know if I would make it to prison though. I'd probably find a way to. That's
you'd,
what
you'd
I would
Epstein
think.
yourself.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. The thing is, if they arrest you and you hadn't done it yet, then yeah, your job gets a lot harder. So it would be that weird period, and that would be the hard thing because it's like
Hold on.
if you
All
haven't
you
been
have-
charged yet.
All you
It's
have
like,
to
what-
do
what-
is walk up to the buffest black dudes in the prison and be like, "What's up, my N-words?" And then you're good. You're dead.
You could live that. You could survive that. Just like,
Ah,
hey, please,
do-
please
do
stab
it.
me.
If it doesn't work the first time, try it again. Eventually, they'll get you.
No, you should go. You should go. American History X and get the swastika
No, because
tattoo.
you don't want to get the protection of the prison Nazis. So you don't just avoid them and just go straight to the black guys and piss them off.
Yeah, you might accidentally join the Nazis and they protect you. Fuck.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want the protection. You just want the fight.
I wonder, do people buy suicides in prison? I bet they do.
Oh yeah, couple
Yeah.
couple
How many
max.
cigarette? Yeah, how many
How many
cigarettes? How many cigarettes does a suicide
Hey.
cost?
I'll give you all my cigarettes, my radio,
My
and
mackerel,
some toilet wine if you just kill me.
I guess, or I'll just drink myself to death with the toilet wine.
Man, you had me at radio.
Yeah. I don't know. That would be, I would just have to basically walk around with a gun just because they could arrest me at any day now. But as long as they haven't arrested me, I have that hope that I might live. So I walk around just like this all day. Hey, good morning, Daddy. What are you doing? I'm just getting some coffee. Have you been looking outside like Daddy told you? Do you see any cars rolling up?
All right. That's all I got.
All right. I'm getting the signs from Nick. That's over. So that is it. We'll see you guys later. Adios.
Adios.